pandemic on small businesses, undeniable. Across America, doors closed, mom and pop shops no more, and the passions so many small business owners have always had seemingly challenged. This new norm has been hard, but not impossible, as one South Florida man shows us. Our correspondent Stephanie Bertini brings us his personal story.
This is a story that begins and ends here in downtown Miami, with a small cafe at the forefront. The owner going to any length to keep it alive, even if that means stepping far away from the coffee bar and kitchen that for years attracted tourists and locals alike. He still owns the place by the skin of his teeth. For Alvaro Puente, or Titi, as he's known and called in downtown Miami, it's been a grueling time.
Nightmare. It's been rough.
Almost 3 decades in business, then the pandemic hit. It was a blow to his finances and his lifestyle.
I've been in business for 25 years here, same location. And I've never had to ask for a loan. I've never had to ask anybody for money. And you know, we've always kept up with the bills. Basically, in that sense, I was lucky. I was fortunate that, you know, when we had to close, it wasn't like, oh my God, I owe type of thing. Right. You know, so we were, but you know, we had rent, we had rent at home, we had those things, and you know, and it was horrible.
And to be clear, at one point it was not only difficult to keep Sedici open, but even to pay your personal bills and necessities.
It became a problem of debt.
Back in March 2020, Puente faced the unimaginable, a mandatory shutdown. His place, Sedici Cafe Grill, normally busy with tourists and locals, sat empty. Like so many other small cafes and restaurants across the nation, he faced the possibility of defeat.
Were you finding yourself asking your landlord to extend, or you're asking the government to give you some kind of help? Nothing prepares you for this, Stephanie. It's like your soul is flat.
As the pandemic progressed, he found his options limited.
We didn't qualify for any of the loans because basically we were a family-owned business, and I really didn't have a huge payroll.
He was forced to make some tough decisions. He closed Sedici's doors indefinitely. He laid off the few employees he had, keeping only his own son. He shifted from the joy of running a place where people came for food, coffee, and laughs to what he could control.
Last summer, we decided that we were going to diversify a little in the food business. We created 2 new kitchens.
The food kitchens, one serving up tacos and burgers, the other health food, combined with the Sedici menu, allowed Puente to tap into different taste buds, expand his customer reach, and focus on deliveries through apps. You see, when things started to reopen last summer, Puente did the math and realized relying on people to walk into a small cafe with required capacity and space restrictions wouldn't work. Soon enough, though, he learned even diversified food deliveries weren't enough. Facing a financial need and a deep desire to protect his life's work, Puente had to take more drastic measures.
You know, look, this is my home, and I'm not going to let this go.
So you're willing to...
I will work 15 jobs to keep this going.
So he took a different path, a detour from the norm.
We were fortunate enough and blessed that Bird added us to the fleet manager program. And I can tell you that without that, I would have not been able to pay my bills here.
Bird is the company behind a street electric scooter rental service in Miami. Puente makes sure those scooters are recharged and ready to move from customer to customer from the established depots.
And this is how you're keeping Sedici alive?
Yeah.
Alive because he pays the landlord, keeps it clean, and cooks for the deliveries inside. But it's still physically closed for business because for a year now, he's been working to catch up financially from that initial shutdown. To manage his time between the scooters and the food deliveries, he works day and night. His life drastically different from the days when business was booming.
We had people standing all the way to the corner waiting for him to come in.
And different too from the hard times over the years, like the financial crisis that started in 2007, challenging the U.S. economy.
All the ups and downs, did anything compare to the pandemic, or would you say?
No way, no.
But still, he is finding a way, hoping all his efforts will help him find his way back to running the Sedici Cafe Grill he loves.
But you want to see Sedici open.
Yeah, of course. How are you? You're good, thank you.
He misses the familiar faces, the interaction with customers, the smiles. The pandemic has taken so much from Alvaro Puente. Still, he's willing to keep giving, to keep fighting, to keep putting his health on the line.
I'm an old guy, you know.
No matter how tough it is, in his mind, it's all temporary.
I'm looking forward. I have worked, I have sacrificed. We have sacrificed, all of us we have sacrificed so much, and here we are.
As we are all here, caught between the memories of the old and the new normal, there are still reminders everywhere that resilience is truly one of the most powerful fuels for hope. For this reporter, now seasoned at covering the backlash of this pandemic, this story is that reminder.
And hopefully we'll be saying that here we are, 5 years from now, 2 years from now. And, my plants will be up, everything will be up, the coffee will be brewing. And
I'll be eating a pizza.
Yeah, thank God.
That's when for you this will be over, when you're back to those days.
Yes, yeah.
You may have guessed it already. Sedici Cafe is a place I know well. I have seen firsthand the toll the pandemic has had on this small business. And when I look around, I'm nothing but humbled and impressed by Alvaro Puente, or Titi, as we call him around here. In Miami, I'm Stephanie Bertini for BNC.
Titi is indeed impressive.